Well done, Pixar. I was not expecting that. In case you couldn't notice by the title, today I am going to be talking about the brand new Pixar movie that came out probably a few weeks ago. I'm a little late to the party, but I am going to be talking about the new Pixar movie called Inside Out. And what this movie is basically about is about a 11-year-old girl named Riley, and it's not really about her necessarily. It's more about the emotions that are inside her head, who are fear, sadness, joy, anger, and disgust. And and you really just see the things that go on inside this girl's head as she has to deal with a move to San Francisco, and the two emotions, joy and sadness, end up getting stuck into the long-term memory subconscious of her brain basically, and they have to go on an adventure to get back to this control center where all the emotions, they do their thing and do the emotions. And but anyway, and while they're gone, the other emotions try to deal with the situation as best as possible, which of course does not work out too well. Now, the first thing I really want to say about this movie is just how smart it is. Like, Pixar did a really good job at kind of representing what a kid's life could be like, not only like in a moving sense, because I never knew moving in my life at all. I don't have any memory of when I did move because I was super young. So I never had that in my life. But just not even that, but more of the stress of also maturing at this point in their life, you know, getting to be a teenager and all that, maturing, and the emotions, the way joy and sadness are gone, and the only ones left are anger, fear, and disgust, and it honestly is holy crap, that works out so well. These emotions are gone, but these ones are the only ones that remain. But when they go through different things, and the because she's so stressed, and them doing the different things, you know what I mean, and trying to control her, but they're not, emotions that can bring sadness or joy. So it's just kind of awkward, and it just works out so well. It's funny. It's genius, I would say. And there were parts in this movie where I wasn't just laughing. Sorry, my lamp's about to fall down. I wasn't just laughing from stuff that was funny. I was also laughing from how true some of the stuff was. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so right. Oh man, that's crazy. It's a smart movie. I don't think I can say much more than that. It just works so well. Like the way the emotions are, the way her mind is set up, and how different things work out in her mind, even though that's not actually what's happening in your brain, it just makes so much sense, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Another thing I really want to praise with this movie is the characters. Everyone who got cast as voices for the different emotions and whatnot, and a few other characters that I won't mention, or one other character I won't mention because I kind of want them to be a surprise. They all they were well done. I thought every single person fit, and Lewis Black as Anger, holy crap. Uh, of course, I can't really put names to faces sometimes, so when I actually looked up Lewis Black on Google, I'm like, oh, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that's a really good one. Yeah, it worked out, and I'm like, yeah, these all worked out so well. It's amazing cast choices. And everyone else did a very good job. If I had to have one complaint with voice acting in general, the girl Riley, she sometimes her voice actor was kind of it was okay. I think it made sense, but at the same time, it just her lines seem kind of okay, okay, yeah. I think you were trying to be not bad there, but sometimes she was really good too. So I gotta give her props for that, and that's really the only complaint I'd have with that. Now I loved like everything this movie did because they had lots of clear like messages and metaphors in the movie, and and I was like, I get that, I relate to that, and it was really good because this movie is relatable. That's not something you see in a kids movie a lot anymore. It's more or less just yellow people that go like banana. Anyway, so, and I really liked that they did certain things in this film because you can relate to it, and it's really nice that they do things that way. And I'm trying to try not to spoil anything that hasn't already been shown in the trailers, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens throughout her mind, and when it happens, and the way like she actually is reacting in the real world, it makes so much sense. And then I think about some stuff and like the fact that she's maturing and she has conflicting feelings and stuff like this, and how it expresses itself through her entire mind. It makes sense, and I really love that aspect about this movie. It's genius. Pixar really outdone did themselves with this movie. Now, while this is a film made by Pixar, basically the 3D Disney until Disney started making all their movies 3D, this is not a film I would necessarily recommend for little kids, like kindergarten, like to second, and like second graders and like below. I don't think would enjoy this movie. Like they would laugh, of course, they would partially enjoy it, but for the most part, they just wouldn't get some of the stuff in the movie, and they'd end up. I don't know if they'd be bored necessarily, but they just wouldn't like the movie as much as like someone who's older that can understand. Like I think this is more like a older elementary, like fifth graders and up type movie because they actually will understand like most of the things that are happening in this movie. Uh, and because it's just such a relatable movie, and I think that adults will definitely like this movie. It might even make it like so that they can more easily explain certain things to their kids, like and different stuff like that. And I know I enjoyed this movie. It's a really mature movie. I will guarantee you that it's more on the mature side. Just like another movie I watched this year, I also reviewed it. It's called When Marnie Was There, by Studio Ghibli, and both movies are very mature and they work out really well in that spectrum, which is really, really good. I liked it a lot. While I'm on the topic of this, I want to say one more thing about this. Since I went through like a stage like this in my life already, it's so relatable, and I can just see it. And when I was watching the movie, I was just like, this is so good. It's so relatable, and I understand it because I went through a stage like this in my life already. And there were times in this movie there were literal, there were tears in my eyes. Like I wasn't crying, but there were. It was sad. It was a really sad movie. And on a happier note, the composer for this movie, Michael, I'm gonna try and not butcher this completely. Michael Giacchino, I think is how you say it. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. If he actually sees this video, sorry about that. But he's done scores for a lot of movies. Actually, I realized he did scores for like Star Trek. He did a score for Jurassic World recently. He did the one for Up, Mission Impossible 3. He's done scores for a lot of movies actually, and I was really surprised when I saw that. And yeah, he did a really good job. I really liked the music. Sometimes the music would actually enhance a scene way more than it needed to, and it actually made the movie more emotional as a thing for that. Can't think of the word off the top of my head. So there's a huge lesson, a big lesson to learn by the end of this movie. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, because you need to see it for yourselves to know what it is. But other than that, I will express one thing. What parents probably need to tell their kids after they see this movie: this is not actually how your brain works. I know kids are not stupid, but they need to learn things in the right manner. So they need to know that this is not actually how your brain works. I hope parents will make sure, if the kids don't know how their brain works actually right now, that they will explain that to them after they see this movie, so as not to confuse them in the near future. But anyway, guys, with that, Inside Out was just such a brilliant movie. I loved it. It's one of my favorite films of 2015 so far. It's the best Pixar's done since Toy Story 3. And with that, guys, I'm going to say that Inside Out is pure amazingness. Now with that, guys, I just want to ask you, what did you think of Inside Out? I'd really like to know your thoughts on it. And if you could type that in the comments below, I'd really appreciate it. I really like to know what you guys think of the films that I review, because I like to hear other opinions besides mine. Because sometimes I might miss something, you know what I mean? In the future, I will try to make a spoiler video for this. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I kind of wanted to discuss some of the more like big messages and stuff, because I thought they were kind of interesting, and I just thought, I might do a spoiler video for this. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you again for watching. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really like it if you did so. And as always, guys, do not forget to be emotional.